Okay, good day, hi, and welcome. There's my melted dog. Poor baby. He's staying here nice and cool. He's like, I'm not going out there because it's too dang hot. Okay, I can hear a truck. I don't know which way he's going though. Okay, let me show you what I got. Okay, pile of junk there. Got an awesome motorcycle. Got a flower box that I'm working on here. Now let me show you what I'm doing. It's for a customer. Basically, I got to cut the bottom out of this. Now, I started making this with a skill saw, yeah. So this is what I got. So that's not too bad. That's a nice seam there. Just using what was on hand, so not too bad. A little bit of gap there, not too bad. I could fill that in with glue and sawdust, whatever. And I had to use nails. Ooh, I'd rather use screws. But I worked on this for probably a lot longer than what it should have taken me. Probably, I don't know. Well, I was at work for 3 hours, but I did a bunch of other things. So maybe there's a, I don't know, cutting and chopping and everything like that. Hour and 3/4, just kind of measuring, and because again, it always takes you the longest to make the first one, and of course you want to do it right. And I had to measure up the window frame and stuff like that. But on this one, you can see I got a bit of a gap. Now, the reason why I got a gap here is simple. I was either going to have a gap on both sides or a bad gap on one side when I tried out my pieces, my end pieces. Got a little bit of a gap on the back here. Now, I didn't nail it down super tight for one reason only. Is I know, number one, it will pull out. Number two is I didn't want to break the wood. So, but then I wish I would have been able to do the whole thing here, because instead of using the skill saw, I would have been just using a table saw, which this is the bottom piece that has to go in. So what I'm going to do is to disappear my fly-by-night chobby work is this nice perfect little shim right here. Is going to go in like just about like that, maybe with a little bit of sawdust and glue, and then it'll be sanded after. So I'll fill in all these little cracks. So, and then I also have what I have here is good 1.5. If I would have had this right from the get-go, he didn't have these were mine, so I'm going to use mine. One is number 6 1.5 screws. That I'll put an extra 2, because I hate using nails on stuff like this. I'll put 2 here, 2 here, and then along the bottom, maybe 1, 2, maybe every, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side. A hold in the floor. And now I got a bit of an angle here. What I don't know what I want to do, because I would like to have the bottom of this completely flush and sealed up. And I'm going to sand it and stuff like that. I mean, the board's not too bad and whatever, but it is what it is. Both boards aren't, like, there's 3 or 4 boards that I had here to make this with, and this board wasn't quite the same. I think it's 7.5 here. This is 7-inch here, 9-inch here. This is going to be, well, we'll see what this is going to be. Hopefully I'm getting all this in video. This is, I think it was 5.5. Well, okay, it's a little less than 5.5 on this one, but the other box, it was like 5.5 or whatever. So whatever it's going to be there, 5.5 there. Thing should be pretty squared. Yeah, 5.5 here. So yeah, okay, there's a bit of a warp in this board, so I guess it's a bit like that. That's wood. So about 5.5. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to cut it this board as the bottom at about 5 and a little bit more. And what I might do is angle my blade so I can match it up with this angle right here. This is the top side, just so you know. I just have it upside down for now, but this is the top side. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is try to bring it on the inside like this so it matches with that, so it's a nice tight seam on the top and bottom. Sand it a bit. Okay, there's not much I'll be able to do for here, but it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, it's that much, but it is what it is. So they're lined up, you know, like I split the difference on this one. Like this board was a little more than 7.5. So, you know, I try to flush it at the top because you see the top more anyway. Although this is the front of the box. And then, you know, so it's a little bit of a gap there. Here I split the difference, so it's pretty much corner to corner. Here's not too bad, but it, again, I could play around with the sandpaper a little bit, and you hide it or whatever. And then I paint it brilliant red after. So I'll just get that bottom all put in there, and then I'll show you it pretty much completed, and then hopefully by this afternoon I'll have it all painted up, dried, and then tomorrow I'll lightly sand it, and then I will paint it 2 coats, one today hopefully and one tomorrow. I also added some Lepage's glue in there just to kind of, you know, build it extra, make it into a tank. So it's not too bad. Everything's fairly straight and level and all that. So it'll be up like this on the window. This is to the wall, that part's to the wall, this is the front. You put all your lovely flowers here. The window's like kind of like right here, and there's an overhang from the window. It comes out about there. Oh wow, that gap looks worse there again. And like, trust me, I brought this in like there was a good wow to this. But if I would have put this one on this side, it was actually like, this one's pretty good. That's a pretty good seam. I put glue on there anyway, because again, I did this at work, where if I would have done it all here, I would have done it slightly different. So I had to work with what I got, but that's not a bad seam. So this would have still been, if I would have put that one on the other side, I still would have had maybe not quite as bad of a gap as that, but then I'd have gaps on both sides. So I figured, well, it's easier to fill in one gap than 4, and it'll look better. So, but pretty flush here, pretty flush here. And not bad here. The back end's flush, but the front, you know, again, sometimes board's a bit wild. Pretty good here. Nice and square. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to get to that, and when I'm done putting it, doing that final cut, I will show you guys, and then I'll paint it up, and I'll show you when I'm done painting it. There you go.